Hi, I'm Vice Mayor Linda Bartz, and I would like to welcome you to another edition of Helping Hands. Today, my first guest is Michael, and Michael is with NAMI. NAMI, what is that, Michael? What does that stand for?
It stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
A subject that really needs to be addressed, that's pretty much been in the closet for a long time.
Yeah, but fortunately, we're seeing more and more coming out. NAMI itself has actually started producing commercials that show up on air, and you see them supporting some of the TV shows now. There is a lot going on with mental illness in the news today, so we're happy for that kind of support.
Unfortunately, sometimes it comes at a great loss, and of course I think about Robin Williams,
right,
and his passing, and he is of my generation and my age, and I just, we just don't, as far as I'm concerned, there's not enough done. But talk to me a little bit about NAMI and how this got together and you got involved.
Okay, well, NAMI actually started by a group of concerned parents many years ago trying to figure out, just like you're talking about, what's going on, how do we deal with this, what's available. And over the years, it's blossomed into a huge organization. We have a national organization, a state-level organization, and then the one that I deal with mostly, which is a local here in St. Lucie County organization. And they're there for three main reasons, in my opinion, anyway, and that is advocacy, making sure that those things that you just mentioned and others, that we make sure the legislation is there. We do mail campaigns, email campaigns. You go to our website, you can see all the different legislation that does affect mental illness and how it's treated and how we treat people with mental illness, which is a whole other subject. And what we should be telling our government officials we want done. The second thing that we deal with is support. And that support comes, we have a support group here in Port St. Lucie area. We meet every Monday, every first Monday, I should say, of the month over at
New Horizons?
New Horizons.
On Midway?
On Midway.
Okay.
And that's at 6:30, and you come around to the side entrance, you got to sort of knock on the door. And that's really how I got started. I went to a support group and changed my life. And then the final phase is education. And we do a lot of different types of education. We're known for one of our family-to-family educational services, which is a 12-week program that we do usually twice a year, where it teaches family members how to live and deal with folks with mental illness. And it's not just a mental illness, it's the myriad of mental illnesses that are out there, and the list keeps growing bigger and bigger. So that's sort of how I got involved. I went to a meeting, I went to a training, and it just grew from there, and 15 years later, here I am.
Well, my guess is because you went to a support meeting, you were dealing with these issues on your own. And I know that that's difficult. Something drew you to that support meeting.
Well, what drew me to the support meeting was I couldn't deny the issues anymore. You know, we talk about how the mentally ill deny their illness. More likely, it's the loved ones that are doing the denying, and they just think, oh, I didn't do a good job, I didn't raise, I didn't discipline, I didn't do all the things I was supposed to do, where did I go wrong? And then you find out that there was nothing you could do. There was a chemistry that was not correct, and follow the right rules, and you have a chance of recovery. And that point in time that you learn that changes your life.
I don't think, and I may be wrong, you seem to be much more educated on this, but frankly, I don't believe that there are many people out there that haven't been touched in some way or another. It may be an immediate family member, it may be a friend, a coworker, someone out there, and they've been touched, and sometimes they don't even know that they've been touched.
You don't know how true that statement that is. We look at different statistics, you read them, 1 in 6 has some form of mental illness, whether it be a milder form of maybe a mild OCD or a mild form of autism or a mild depression or something. And okay, that's, But everybody, I don't know any person that I talk to that doesn't know somebody or know somebody who's had serious problems, and the news is full of it. You brought up Robin Williams, and we can talk about all the other actors that we've seen over the years. We have major actors that have all kinds of mental illnesses. We have people in everyday walks of life that have them. You're right, it touches everybody. The legal system is filled with it. Law enforcement. NAMI has a program and works very closely with law enforcement, the CIT program, to make sure that the sheriffs, when they come to deal with a situation, they know how to deal with it properly, right, and not exacerbate the situation, how to diffuse it. So yes, it affects everybody. It affects the entire community.
So you have a support group. You're meeting on Monday, first Monday night of the month at New Horizons.
That's correct.
Group growing?
It varies. Some nights we have 8 to 10 core people. Last month we had probably filled the room with some new people that were just lost and seeking to find where to go to get answers.
Right.
They've come to grips with the fact that they have a problem. They just didn't know where to go, so they started reaching out. And that's where I think we can help some in sort of guiding them in the right direction. We're certainly not medical professionals, nor do we give advice of that sort, but we try to guide them into the places that make sense for them.
Hopefully, while you're on this show and we're talking, that we'll touch a few more lives out there of those people that have been looking and just so many times either don't feel that they can reach out or just don't have an idea of where I can reach.
And we need to discuss at those meetings what's said in those meetings stays in those meetings.
I get that, as in most support groups, whether it's AA, NA.
Yeah.
This is a, for me, what I would call a safe zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a difficult subject. It's difficult for the people, the caregivers that are there, the people that need the help. Certainly their privacy, I can't even think that it wouldn't be protected. Tell me do you get funding from anywhere? Because you said national, state, and local.
Okay, well, to be a member of NAMI, I think the dues is $35 a year, of which a few dollars goes to the state and a few dollars goes to the national, and then the remainder stays locally. Those funds, and there are national fundraisers that are going on. You'll see walks and those types of things all the time. Locally, we do some fundraising. We do quarter auctions. We get involved with some walks as well locally to raise funds, and all of those funds go directly back into our community for use here. Most of it is in the form of education. Again, I had mentioned earlier about the Family to Family program, which is a 12-week series. The books on that are that. We've had several corporations actually fund the cost of those books so that the loved one that's taking the class doesn't have to
So,
fill
Mike,
out.
basically what you're telling me, at least on a local level, you are getting donations, whether they be corporate donations or individual donations. It sounds to me like membership is very nominal, and I would be surprised if you told me that you turned somebody away because they couldn't pay for membership.
Nobody's turned away from a support
you.
group or a educational series because they're not a member. I think once they see the value of membership, and all you have to do is go to NAMI.org, and you will see all of the various programs that are available
Right.
to you, and the incredible amount of research and literature that's out there. That's really, you feel almost guilty not paying the $35.
Well, and I wasn't thinking of that. What I was thinking of was those people that may not be able to afford.
That's
Because typically, or many times, these family situations, the caregivers, whether it's a parent, another family member, a loved one, they, and many times before they finally find help, they've exhausted much of their funds, and they're looking. So I get that the value is there, but I also get that if I walked in and said, you know what, I just don't have the money now. My loved one has drained me dry. You would still open your arms and say, come in, let's talk.
Yeah. Anybody can come to any of our meetings. You don't even have to be a member. There's also a lot of programs for the mentally ill, who obviously many of them don't have. There's peer-to-peer groups. Some counties are fortunate enough to have drop-in centers. When I lived in Martin County, they had one for a while, and that's how my daughter sort of wandered in. So there are other services, so that money should not be the issue.
Good, good. I just want to make sure.
Need and desire is the issue.
Well, I want people who are out there watching us and maybe in that situation know that they won't be turned away because they don't have that money in their wallet right now. And I appreciate that, because that is so important. You are going to be doing...
Yeah, speaking of no money and a great educational program.
Talk to me about it.
There was a movie that was produced by Sony Movies along with NAMI called Call Me Crazy, and this is a 5-part film. I have recently watched it 3 times, and I can't believe anybody watching this would not be totally and completely moved to do something. At first, you don't think the 5 pieces tie together, because it looks like it's 5 different points of view of people with different types of mental disorders. And it's all tied together very nicely in the end. Anyhow, we're going to be having a free presentation on Wednesday, May 20th, starting around 6:30 right here at the Port St. Lucie Community Center. And that's thanks to you, Linda, and your great staff in putting this together. We certainly appreciate it. Aisha and David, just wonderful people to work with. So anyhow, come on out. That's Wednesday, May 20th at 6:30. At the community center. We will be having a number of mental health providers there with their literature to hand out, and we will have a panel of mental illness experts up there. So when you see something in the film and you have a question, you have somebody there that can answer it for you. The board of NAMI of St. Lucie will be present. If you don't want to open up in public and you want to take one of us on the side, we'll make arrangements to do that also. But come out. It is, I guarantee you, it'll be a moving event that will change your opinion about mental illness for the positive.
Well, I appreciate your thanks. However, I really believe that this is an important subject matter. And I also believe that there, as I said earlier, that people have been touched everywhere by this. I know that in talking to law enforcement, I know that they deal with it every day, and thankfully they have training to work on that so that they have an idea of what situation they're actually walking into. And you know, I personally think that St. Lucie County, we've got a lot of great law enforcement from the cities and the county. So I know that we all work together.
Right. I know. I've talked with Sheriff Mascara and a couple of times seen him in, again, the CIT program that they attend to. Tells me that they are interested in dealing with this at the right level.
Right. Right. So I'm excited. I actually have this on my calendar. I don't know if you know that, but I do have it on my calendar. So
I'm hoping you're going to come there and say a few words for us.
Well, that was a first on that, but I will definitely be there. So I'm actually looking very much forward to it. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for addressing this situation. Mental illness, you know, I am a strong believer that we don't talk about it enough. We don't support our people enough. I think that we are getting better, but I think that we still have a long way to go because we come from generations like my parents who would never ever have admitted to anything like that, did not believe in psychiatrists, did not believe in psychologists, did not believe that there was anything wrong other than you didn't behave and you didn't listen. So I get that. I get that.
This film will drive that home.
Well, I hope we have a packed house.
I sure do too.
I apologize. I didn't talk to David, but you can tell me how many people can we fit into where we're going.
The way he has it set up, well over 100.
Great. Well, I hope we have standing room only. We need to get this message out there, and I appreciate you being here, Mike.
Well, I thank you so much for the opportunity, and we're looking forward to a continued relationship with the township here, so that and the city, so that other programs that we want to run will go as smoothly as this seems to be working.
Well, let's keep working on it. Please stay with us. We'll be right back with more Helping Hands.